Simon Woodhouse is now 2 months into his journey round France. He's now completely focused on food and cooking to prepare himself for when he opens his boat, Water Lily, as a restaurant in Paris in just 3 weeks. Having arrived in one of Burgundy's oldest monasteries, he's learnt how to make goat's cheese.
Cheese making, done.
And now he's been asked to cook a vegetarian meal for 60 monks.
I'm in the deep end again.
And so far, his search for ingredients has unearthed just one mushroom.
We've got a cep.
Simon's got just 24 hours before cooking at the monastery, and he still hasn't found his vegetables. But he's had a tip that a local farm may be able to help.
Well, yeah. I've just walked in to see a stack of ceps and wild mushrooms, so I'm probably going to try and do a deal to get the lot.
Simon's also spotted sweet potatoes. He wants to let them know he's cooking for the monastery, in case he can get a good price.
For les frères. Les frères, oui.
It's turned out to be a goldmine. In fact, the farm supplies top-quality vegetables to all the best restaurants in Burgundy.
This is where I prefer, this is where I buy things in England, you know. I don't go to supermarkets, I go to the wholesalers, the dealers. You get better deals, and the produce is that 1 day, 2 days fresher. I found the right guy, I'm going to get his number, make a list of everything I need, and come and collect the whole thing Thursday morning, fresh in the market. Fantastic.
It's been mushroom mayhem today, and Simon's not finished yet. The Auberge de la Tray is a few miles down the road, and mushrooms have pride of place on the menu. Owner Francis Salamalande is bonkers about mushrooms too, and Simon might have finally met his match.
If you want mushrooms, this is where it's at. I just walked into this kitchen and getting this fantastic demonstration. And I only came to ID a couple of mushrooms that I found in the forest, and a couple of phone calls later, here we are.
His pride and joy is this little beauty, the giant puffball. Best cooked dipped in egg yolk and butter and then smothered in breadcrumbs.
Et qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est le pain? C'est beurre, pas d'huile, c'est beurre?
An aperitif.
Oui, perfect.
Francis has also divulged the secret to cooking perfect mushrooms.
The Giraud, going into dry pans, no butter. You cook off the first moisture, get rid of that, back on the heat, then the butter goes in. So you're not burning the butter too much. But, I've just got to tell you, the smell in here.
You really enjoy
I want to get under the canopy, that's where the smell's at. It's straight out of the forest, toss in a bit of butter and salt. Au nature, simple, à la minute. That's the way to eat them, and it's fantastic.
Simon's in seventh heaven, and things are about to get even better. Francis is offering Premier Cru Chablis to wash it all down with.
Merci pour votre temps. C'est très spécial. Je suis content.
Travail à la
Toi
minute.
content. Oui, fantastic.
Je suis très sollicité. Chaque jour, c'est pas facile.
The next morning, Simon arrives to collect his vegetables from the farm.
This is what I was hunting for in the woods. Ceps. They're a lovely size for what I'm going to do as well. They're going to slice down, absolute treat. He's looked after me there. OK, this is mousseron. It's a little woodland mushroom. Girolles. Lovely.
Voilà.
Ah, merci.
Merci bien.
Merci bien. Et les champignons. C'est bon.
Voilà.
C'est bon.
Bonne
Merci,
continuation, merci.
Merci, au revoir.
Au revoir.
You can't make good food out of poor produce. And to be getting that, well, it looks right, it feels right, it's in good condition, it's fresh from the market. I know the mushrooms came from these hills, it's something about that. It's a funny little thing. I get excited about mushrooms.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and back at the monastery, Frère Yvot is already busy in the kitchen. Simon forgot to mention he was bringing wine, and abstinence is the key to the monk's way of life. He's got 2 hours before the monks sit down for lunch. He can't afford to overrun the cooking. Their daily regime means lunch starts at 1 p.m, on the dot after prayers, and Simon's now the man in charge.
I've got 4 items to pull together. The fish with my wild mushrooms, sun-dried tomatoes, shallots. Yvonne's just started on the salad for me. It's a Greek salad using their own cheese. I've got the sweet potatoes, which are going to be wrapped in foil, but I've got just under 2 hours.
With the clock ticking and with 60 mouths to feed, Simon's going to have to be well organised, which means running a tight kitchen. It's all good experience for when he opens Water Lily as his own floating restaurant. The sweet potatoes will take the longest to cook, so he needs to get them in the oven early.
I'm a little bit behind, actually. I'd really like those potatoes to be in the oven, but they'll get there.
The sweet potatoes are being baked in tin foil with rosemary and plenty of butter to keep them moist. Simon's got a food chain going. It's all being organised in a very orderly fashion. Has Simon done this before?
Right, the potatoes are in.
As promised, the wines for cooking. Red onions, garlic and butter will make the base of his risotto before he adds the rice, olive oil, celery leaves and finally, the wine. Let's hope the monks like big portions. To finish off, Simon's adding fresh thyme, cream, grated cheese and lemon juice. It's a risotto feast.
C'est bon. It's good. Very, very good.
He's got an hour to go, and the last dish to cook is a fish dish that will be complemented by his wild mushrooms. He wants to keep it simple, so he's roasting Nile perch, a river fish, and adding sun-dried tomatoes and those fantastic freshly picked mushrooms.
All I'm going to do is cook this fish with the sun-dried tomatoes, mushroom shallots, and these mushrooms will impart the most beautiful colour.
This is where simple cooking comes into its own. Using the freshest ingredients, Simon is able to prepare and cook large quantities economically and creatively. With the lunch bell fast approaching, Simon's just got time to check his potatoes.
Do with about 20 minutes.
It's going to be tight.
Well, we haven't got 20 minutes, they've got 10 minutes. Oui, c'est cuit parfait.
And the potatoes?
Right, after all that worry, there they are. I love these. They're actually swimming in butter and just soft and still on the teeth.
Finally, with minutes to spare, the food is wheeled in. Simon's allowed to eat with the monks, but in silence. The only person allowed to speak is the monastery's father, who is saying prayers. The monks seem to be tucking in enthusiastically, but it's hard to tell just what they think, with no one allowed to say a word. Now the meal's over, the monks can say exactly what they think about Simon's cooking.
Merci.
Merci, merci. Thank you very much.
De rien, c'est un bon jour pour moi. Un jour très bien pour moi.
Oui, oui, oui.
The father of the monastery has come in to personally congratulate Simon.
Vous lui avez montré. You are showing to
Showing him. Il est le chef.
Voilà, c'est
Il est le chef.
C'était une expérience unique. Je pense que jamais les moines n'ont mangé un repas qui avait autant de goût, des choses aussi succulentes. Je suis moine depuis 43 ans. C'est la première fois que je mange un aussi bon repas au monastère. Formidable.
The guys just got behind me, really. I started off with Frère Yvonne, and suddenly we're getting a bit closer, so we start pulling the other guys in, and they're all pulling it together, and none of them are chefs. I think we actually brought some smiles to some people's faces there, which became part of the mission for me.